My name is Reverend Dr. Simon Malusi, preacher by call, and I'm a dick by profession. It is very African and more Kenyan that we are told to go to school, we study hard and get a good job that pays. So I did that and I graduated from the medical school. After 2 years of practice, I joined for my postgraduate, where I did medical microbiology. That is one of the disciplines in what we call pathology. And I worked in several hospitals. I started with the Kenyatta, and then I went to teach in the college. After that, I joined the Nairobi City Commission. I left and went to work with the Nairobi Hospital. And finally, I joined another private. We thought that somebody would be worried and would wonder, somebody who has gone to school and has done all that, why come back and join in New Life? Where did New Life find me? New Life found me while I was still practicing, doing my consultancy, because I left being employed for a while. And the consultancy I normally do is on what we call IVF, that is in vitro fertilization, which I specialized in South Africa, in Cape Town, in the year 2000. And about 2.5 years, I was invited by a friend of mine, a reverend from Eldoret, and I listened to what we have been told by Olo. The biggest question is, why did I decide to join? Really, if it was the issue of money, I wouldn't say I had enough, but at least I had something that could sustain me for a while I'm working. But after that, it would also end. Secondly, the money that we get from jobs is not residual. You cannot leave it even to your children and so on. So when I listened, the first thing why I joined was the issue of health. Mr. Law put it clearly that health is our greatest wealth. Before I joined, my very own daughter, because I'm married with a very beautiful lady who is just seated beside me, and we are blessed with 3 children, indeed 2 men and 1 lady. So the year 2017, we had a challenge of our 29 years old by then, and she had been admitted in the Nairobi Hospital for 7 times in the year 2017. And by the time I joined this opportunity, she was bedridden. She had not recovered, despite going through the conventional medication. So this really, when I was told about the products, that is what exactly moved me. And being assigned this, the way I am, and I'm a dick, I said I cannot expose my daughter to the products that I don't know about. So the first month after I joined, I started using the products, the supplements. And at the end of the month, I felt that I had a lot of change in my health status. Not that I was sick. In fact, I cannot remember the time I was lastly taken to hospital when I was ill. I think it's over 20 years when I had malaria after going to western part of Kenya in the course of my duties. So when I used the very first product called Provitality, there was a lot of change in my health. And I said, for sure, these products work just as we have been told. So I exposed my daughter After about 6 months, there was some progressive change in her health. Initially, she was bedridden, but now she could wake up, she could do a few things. And by the end of the year 2018, she had improved greatly. Starting the year 2019, she was able to move and she recovered towards the mid of 2019. This was a true proof that the products work just as we have been told. Now, since then, she has become well, and as I speak, in fact, she has been blessed with a beautiful young girl. I think one of the results of this is because she used the feminine herbal complex, and you know, with that, it imbalances a lot of things. Now, that notwithstanding, why do I still remain in this opportunity? Because if that was my why, and my daughter is well, I have every reason to leave. But for the guests who are on this call and the distributors, I cannot leave, and I won't leave. Why? Because after I bought several products for my girl and also for my use, I became the product of the products, and I've kept it changing, so I will have to keep on using the products. And as I did this, I also discovered that for each product that I used, there were some points which resulted in money. Money is never enough. Being a professional doctor, I still needed some more money, and I still need more money. So that is why I have now remained in this opportunity, because apart from health, it also creates some financial freedom. And when I joined, within 58 days, I became a director. My very first check on joining was very little. It was 1,605 Kenya shillings. I think it is about 16 US$. And then the second month, it grew to over 20,000. And when I became a director, it went to over 62,000 Kenya shillings. To be precise, it was 62,300 Kenya shillings. So I discovered that apart from the health, this is an opportunity somebody can make money. And I was making money, and I still make money on part-time basis. I am still doing my consultancy in IVF together with the other professionals like Professor Machoki, the head of health sciences in the University of Nairobi. That is where I spend most of my time. But on part-time, I tell people about this particular opportunity. I have created a number of customers, the people who are using the products. And again, I have also introduced other people. In fact, I'm very excited because one of the new directors we had in Kenya for the month of July was from my team. And I'm very excited because of touching lives of very, very many people. The other thing that excites me about this opportunity is not only touching many lives, but also it is a business that you do not do alone. That is something that has really encouraged me. I have always been assisted by my uplines, the person who welcomed me to the opportunity, and also the company gives me a lot of support. So this is an opportunity that you do not do it alone. You get support from everybody, including the company. And for our guests who are on this call, If you make a decision to join, you will not do it alone. You will be assisted, starting with the person who invited you, and so on. The third reason is that the products are fantastic. They work. And in fact, personally, I do not just take the products these days. I eat them. Why? Because they are food, they are supplements. And I know some challenges that we may get as distributors, those from our professionals and so forth. Tell them this is food. It is like vegetables, it's like fruits. So there is no need for any complication. The second last reason as to why I have remained is because of the compensation plan of this company. It has a wonderful plan, which is quite awesome. And depending on your ability to work, the company will compensate all the good work that you do. And that has kept me very pinned to the call and also to the company. And finally, why I've also remained is the comfortability of doing this business. And particularly at such a time like now, with the COVID, with the lockdowns in almost everywhere, I can work from the comfort of my room. And this is very, very exciting. What am I saying? If you are a guest on this call, I totally encourage you to join. Just talk to the person who invited you. I know more often what makes us not join is that very enemy of success called procrastination. And we give several reasons. Sometimes we talk of time. Others we talk of me being a professional. If it were the issue of professionalism, I don't think I would be there. But even in the professionalism, we are there because we need that extra coin. And if you're on this call, I'm sure you'll agree with me. If you get somewhere you can make an extra coin, you would rush there. Somewhere where you can make an extra dollar, you will rush there. And you need not take time. Do not procrastinate. Others are now saying, Daktari, where will I get time? I think if there are any people who are most business people, are the doctors. Actually, we are more or less like the policemen, 24/7. But look at the 24 hours that we have. Do your normal work if you want to continue with your work for 8 hours. Sleep 8 hours for healthy purposes. What are you doing with the 8 other hours? The remaining 8 hours, spare 2 or 3 hours. Do this business. You will never regret because it will pay dividends. Paul, if I still have time, allow me to end with a story. Being a preacher, normally stories are part of us. There was one professor who knew a lot, who had a wealth of skills and a wealth of knowledge. And another young man went to school and studied and had heard about this professor. He had been told that this professor is able to answer any and every question. So this young man who got learned said, I am going to test this professor. So what he did, he got a fly, put it in his hand, and closed the hand. He said in his mind, I will go around and I will look for this professor. And I will ask him, I have an insect, a fly in my hand. And I want you to tell me if it is dead or if it is alive. And in his mind he said, should the professor say it is alive, I will just squeeze because a fly is very soft. And I will tell him, Professor, you have failed because it is dead. And should he tell me it is dead, I will allow it to fly. And I will tell him, Professor, you have failed because it is alive. And as he walked on his way, he met the professor. When he met the professor, he asked him, Mr. Professor, I have a fly in my hand. I want you to tell me, is it alive or dead? Yeah. Professor looked at him and asked him, hey, young man, what are you saying? He said, alive or dead? And the professor looked at this young man and said, young man, the choice is yours. The choice is yours. What am I saying? If you are listening and you have listened to Allah as he presented, and you continue to listen to the testimonies, I just want to tell you, like this professor, you can decide today to join or not to join, because the choice is yours. If you have listened to me, I would welcome you. And the one thing I'm very sure of is that you will get full support. Now myself, I'm a director. I'm earning some monies throughout each month. And I have a desire and I'm working towards getting to the next level so that I join the world team and I enjoy every bit of this company, because I've seen others enjoy. And if they have made it, if they have enjoyed, if they have become world team members and PTs, that means it is doable and I am going to do it. So welcome and join us. We will hold your hands to succeed. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you, Paul, for giving me an opportunity to give my testimony. And definitely I have gained so much. I've gained health-wise and I've gained financially. There is a financial freedom and there is health in a new life. Thank you, Paul.